Alright. Welcome to Pods and Pies, our fake sponsor today.
Fake sponsor is always the
The
pie.
pie.
Pie and
Somebody
pizzeria.
can get us a free pizza. Then they have to go up to Washington and hit like the Rafter Bee.
How do
Get
you
their
know? You
pizza.
know what the Rafter Bee
I
is?
know Rafter.
Wait, so you know more about Launch It than you've let on?
I know about
Or he's
the
been
Rafter
doing his
Bee.
research.
No, I know about the
You know-
Rafter Bee.
No, it hasn't been the Rafter Bee for a long time now.
Oh,
It's
okay. What is it now?
The Outpost.
The Outpost, okay.
Okay.
See, I knew it as Rafter Bee.
Rafter
Rafter
Bee.
Bee. Yeah.
Well, this is like a veggie
You
delight.
got are you a vegetarian?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird, I know. I
But
don't
not
like
vegan.
Colville. No, not vegan.
You live on a ranch
Uh-huh.
in Colville.
Uh-huh.
Vegetarian.
Yeah. I have a cow. She's my pet. I breed
Okay.
her.
But you're never gonna eat her.
I would never eat her.
And you wouldn't partake of any milk from a cow.
No, I'll take.
Oh, your milk isn't vegetarian. That's vegan
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, I don't drink milk because
Yeah.
I just don't like it, but cheese, I'll do cheese. I just, it's hard where I live because you drive past all these cows and every day I talk to them like, hi, hi, and then you go and then they're either gone, and this year because all the meatpacking plants have been shut down. So now they're doing
Tons, huh?
mobile slaughterhouses.
No.
So you drive
Really?
past and there's like cows that were my friends one day, and then they're like upside down, dead.
Oh, don't
There's
say
a
it.
mobile slaughterhouse
Oh,
with like
shoot.
cows lined up outside of it. I had a little meltdown last week, and I'm like, I hate this.
Mobile
Then I go home and
slaughterhouse.
cuddle my little
Oh,
cow.
that's a new one.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But anyway, here you can have a take for you. This
Is your-
is a heavy pizza.
Thanks.
Is
It's
your-
because of all the goodness on
I
it.
know, it looks
You're a
great.
vegetarian?
Yeah, my daughter is a vegetarian.
Okay.
She, by choice, she doesn't like meat. She just doesn't like it. And her mom doesn't know how to make it, so that doesn't help.
So it's probably a good thing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We eat a lot of veggies.
One time I thought I would do vegetarian
Mhm.
after I watched Forks Over Knives,
Mhm.
which is an amazing
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And for a long, long time, I didn't do red meat. I didn't do steak or red meat for a very long time, but I still would eat, fish or chicken or whatever. I love that. I watched it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's a couple other good ones out
Yeah.
there too. I just have this theory that I'm like, if we could just like limit how much each person gets, because I'm all for supporting. My neighbor's a big cattle farmer. I adore him and great man, and that's how he provides for his family. But if we could just maybe like keep it to the farmers, not commercialize it,
Yeah.
and not slaughter them in the fields, that would be my
No.
Yeah,
That
in
would
front
be
of my
my-
house,
yeah.
on the way home.
And the cows are one thing. It's like when people talk about eating goat, or I have goats that are my pets, and I'm like, who would eat this? Like, I just can't. And I don't eat chicken
You
because I
can't eat
just
Susie.
yeah.
You
They,
name your goats.
they get names, and once they have names, you
That's-
can't.
There's no way.
No way.
This is delightful, by the way.
Is it good?
Have you had a pie before?
I love the pie,
This was.
but we definitely don't have the pie in Colville.
No, you
I
got.
don't think
This
we have
looks
any
like
pizza in Colville.
onions, artichokes, tomatoes, spinach,
Onions, spinach.
some type of cheese.
It
Feta.
looks like feta, yeah.
Yeah. Cheese now.
Thanks to the pie for your. big
Let's go,
sponsor.
pie.
Yeah.
First question. Beards. Yay or nay? I'm just asking for a friend.
Are you asking beards or beer?
Beards.
Oh,
Just
beards.
asking for a friend.
Yay. This is
Okay.
definitely beard season.
Cool. I won't shave mine
I think we're in beard season.
Yeah. Do you like redheads? Asking for a friend.
Yes, redheads are great.
Okay.
I have a redheaded sister though, so I know
Oh.
all about the redheaded temperament, and it's a thing.
It is a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
It is a thing.
then.
Okay.
I haven't noticed that in you though.
No. Well, when I was younger, trust me, like it
You
was,
had it?
it was a
There?
shit show. It was,
Fire?
yeah, it was horrible.
Were you naughty?
I mean, yeah, my mom would say yes. I was naughty. I was difficult, very difficult. And then I have 4 kids. My third is a redhead daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom certainly said that it's literally like you're being punished for how you punish me. Like, she's amazing, but she's off the
How old
charts.
is she?
She's 8th grade.
Oh, that's how old my daughter
Yeah,
is.
almost 14. Yeah, almost 14.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's.
So my
she
mom
is-
always hoped
she's a
I would have
whirlwind.
payback. She's like, someday you're gonna
Yeah.
get your payback. And then I have this like straight A's, very calm Libra child who's mellow. I never have to get on her for anything
Except
Oh,
when
your mom hates
leaving
that.
except
school
for
to
she did
Subway.
leave school to go to Subway. Yeah.
If that's the only thing, you're.
With a yeah. I guess with the teacher's permission, but like she's very much about rules and following. There's times when I'm like driving and she'll say, "Mom, don't look at your phone," or "Slow down," or she kind of is this super uber rule follower.
Yeah.
And then there's me that's like, well, there's the rules, and then there's like the rules,
Yeah.
my rules.
And
that are
she's your
different than
and she's your
everyone
only
else's.
child.
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
Just her and my lots of fur babies. Yeah.
What do you have on the farm? So you have a cow,
So
goats.
I have a cow. Her name's Winnie the Mini Moo. So she's a
The whole
miniature.
name, Winnie the Mini Moo.
Yeah, we call her Winnie for short, but she's a miniature Scottish Highland.
I don't,
So she's
that
like-
sounds like a dog to me. I don't know.
So
what that-
she probably stands to my waist, a little bit shorter than my waist.
Okay.
That's cool.
Her head will come up to like right by my rib cage. And she's
I didn't even know there were different breeds of cows. I just,
Yeah.
it's like black and white.
Oh, I'll
Give me
show
some
you.
milk.
I'll show you this picture. No, she's not a milk cow. So Scottish Highland are less fatty because they're more fur. She's just the cutest thing on Instagram. People go kind of crazy for her. She's pregnant right now, so she's going to be having a little baby here in next June.
See that?
And then I have a Percheron horse, so she's a very, very large horse.
Yeah, that's like a hairy.
Yeah.
She's cute.
That is cute.
So like as a farmer, like if a farmer, like you have these on your property, what are you using them for if it's not a milking cow and you're not gonna eat it?
So Winnie I breed. She's a specialty breed, so I
Oh.
breed her and sell her babies maybe, like if I decide to. And then I have this Percheron that's a draft horse, so she pulls wagons. So
Okay.
she'll in the winter, we have a hotel kind of by us that will likely lease her to do wagon rides, or I'll do wagon rides with her. A hotel in Park City's asked about wagon rides, so she just pulls wagons. She's beautiful. I have a paint horse who's just my daughter's little riding buddy.
Yeah.
I just got her for my daughter for her 14th birthday, so
Awesome.
we're working with her. And then my goats, they're just emotional support for everyone.
Yeah.
They're the funniest things. Like people will drive. I have like kind of a yard where you can drive into the back and park out back, because that's where the pastures and the fields and stuff are. And then I have like a cool hangout area with the fire thing with the pizza oven. So people will pull around back. So you can just walk down the stairs and be in the back hangout area. And my goats, I'm always like, if you park back here, watch out for the goats. And then sure as crap, within like 5 minutes, there's goats standing out people's cars.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry.
So is there, what kind of goats?
They're pygmy.
Pygmy goats.
Those
Do
are like
they,
the smaller ones, right?
Yeah, they're small.
and do they faint? Or is that only a certain type of goat?
That's only a certain type.
Or is that just fake on Instagram? that I
No,
see?
it's real. It's so real. And I went and looked at fainting goats, and you feel like the worst person. I mean, you have to scare them to faint.
Yeah.
So you have to actually go out of your way to be a jerk and like jump out and be like, ah, and then they get scared and then they faint. And so after some careful consideration, I decided that I don't want people running around terrorizing my animals just for their humor. So I didn't get a fainting goat.
Yeah. I can see that, because then people just come to your house just to yell and
Yeah,
scream.
and then they'd be yelling and screaming at the goats. And then I
And
have
then-
2 dogs.
2 dogs, what kind of dogs?
So Norman Bates, he's a
Oh my
sheepadoodle.
gosh, yes.
Yes, that's my sheepadoodle.
Sheepadoodle?
Yeah, so he's a sheepdog mixed with a poodle. So I don't like the dog hair. My outside animals
Yeah.
can shed all they want and be filthy, but my inside animals, like if you come inside, you get in my bed, you gotta have your
Yeah.
stuff together. So, and then I have Penny, who's a little mini Aussie doodle. So they're both like kind of
Australian Shepherd
Mhm.
and a sheepdog mixed with poodles.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's
so
awesome.
the Norman's big. He's like big. He's a big boy, and then Penny's pretty small. She's a little.
Norman Bates, you call him Norman for short.
Uh huh.
Bates Motel.
Yeah, so we bought him at 9 months old. His name was already Norman. So I saw him. My mom found him on KSL, because knowing I was looking for a dog that wasn't a puppy, and she's like, "Look at him!" And his name was Norman. So I took the money with me. He was like $2,000. I mean, it wasn't cheap. Took
Really?
the money with me, and I was like, "I'm just gonna buy him." And the lady's like, "Do you want to meet him?" No, his name's Norman. I mean, it's meant to be, right? It's meant to be. So.
With a name like that.
And he's super creepy. He's just like the real Norman Bates. Like every morning he requires snuggle time, and he'll like stand on me while I'm laying in bed, and he like licks my face. And
You just wake up and he's just staring
yeah,
at you.
Oh,
yes,
that's awesome. That's
yes.
amazing.
He does have like these creepy tendencies where I feel like he's for
Does
sure.
he sneak up behind you
Norman
and
Bates. Just stare.
kind of stare,
Uh-huh.
like look weird?
Yeah, or he'll like stare at me out of the corner of his eye. He'll just sit down and has like this creepy side eye look. And I'm like, stop doing that. It's so weird.
Does he get jealous? Like if you like go give your daughter a hug, is he like, hold on?
No,
That
not
should
with
be-
my daughter, but he does get weird with Penny, the puppy, the other one. So Penny gets nighttime cuddles because Norman's not a super big lover at night. and then Norma gets morning cuddles. But if they infringe on each other's cuddle time, they kind of get like, hey, wait, this is my time.
This is me time.
This is my life. It's each of these animals has
Is there
their
any
own
yoga
life.
with the goats?
No, I love yoga, but goat
You haven't
yoga
done
is
the goat yoga.
not a thing. And I don't know how it would be. They're big. They're like, even though they're
Even though they're pygmy.
they're big enough to where I wouldn't want them standing on me. And they crap everywhere. I mean,
Yeah, they'd be crapping on you.
goats crap everywhere. They walk and crap everywhere. So I don't know how that's a thing. I guess maybe they don't feed the goats before, but goats are hard. They just eat anything. So,
Yeah.
I mean, my goats are literally free range, meaning they could be anywhere from my neighbor's yard to my front yard to.
And they just come back.
Yeah, I can't. You can't keep them in. I've tried everything. I cannot keep them in. They just escape. So I
I
give
think
up.
I think there's a field trip. We need to take a field trip.
We should have done a podcast
Yeah, we should.
there.
Yeah, we should be on the
Totally.
farm.
Cook pizza in your pizza oven.
Yes.
Have
I've
lunch
never
with-
used it.
Have
We
lunch
can-
with
we
the
can
goats.
Okay, hold on. This is getting better. Do you have a pizza oven?
I have a
Yes.
pizza oven. I do. It's
Oh,
in a
gosh,
fire
I wish I
pit,
would've
so
known
I've
this
never
ahead of
used
time.
it.
Yeah.
But we could figure it out. I mean, I'm sure we could figure
Is
it
it,
out.
and it's like a real brick oven, pizza
Yeah, yeah.
by the fire pit.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a fireplace pit made out of rock, and then there's like a gap, and they made it with like a pizza round thing inside of it. Every time we say we're gonna do pizza, because I have people are at my house every weekend. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the sanctuary, I think, and we say we'll do pizza this weekend, and then the day of, it's kind of like, oh wait, none of us know how to make pizza. None of us know how to make pizza dough.
No,
Dude, oh my
that
gosh.
sounds like a part two.
Yeah, it does sound like a
Part
party.
two with Aubrey is coming up.
You guys are invited. Bring your kids. Kids really
All
like
weekend.
it. Kids love it. We have people bring tents and they camp out in the front yard or backyard, or they like it. My lifestyle is so different to all my friends who kind of live down in the city. And
Yeah.
like,
And you were, hold on, and I don't want to go totally off topic, but that's where you didn't grow up in Colville.
No, I
You
grew
grew
up in
up-
Arizona,
You grew up in Arizona,
in Mesa, so we have
and then
horses.
you moved here.
Mhm.
When did you come to Utah?
I came to Utah. We've been kind of back and forth because my mom was raised here, but I planted roots here about 13 years ago. And I lived in Daybreak before I moved to Colville. So it was a huge adjustment. I just knew I wanted a ranch and I was gonna buy a ranch, and it's just what I wanted. And
Because you grew up with horses.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I grew up with horses, and I've always wanted a mini cow. I saw one at the livestock show one year and said, I have to have that. So now I do.
What brought you to Utah?
Family. My mom was raised here, and you know how it is. Utah's like a
Yeah.
boomerang thing. You leave and
It is kind of boomerang. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a
it's a
good way to put it.
boomerang. Mhm.
Where was she from? Where
My
she
cow?
No, your mom.
Oh,
Yeah, your cow.
which one? My mom grew up.
Your
in,
mom and your cow are from here.
Yes. My mom grew up in. I don't know. She went to Granite, so that's what, Salt Lake.
Salt Lake,
area?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I don't even think Granite's alive anymore. I think they tore that down.
It did.
What did that turn into?
I don't know.
They just tore it down like they absorb it into other schools?
I mean, I can't remember.
I don't know.
It's been years. Yeah.
It sounds like a crappy high school.
Yeah, I think it.
They just tore it down and didn't want care to
They gave
rebuild it.
up. They gave up.
They gave up. No.
Somebody from the school district isn't gonna like this. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
true.
Well, hey,
We'll come
correct
on.
us.
We'll correct us. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll fix it.
Granted.
Well,
That's some cool history.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a fun life.
yeah.
I live a fun life. It is literally never a dull moment. People are like, you should literally have a camera just follow me around. It's water lines break, or somebody's always got goat breaks his leg, or water's spraying everywhere, or the well runs out of
You
water.
never consider doing a vlog or some type of anything like that? Are you that personality that could film yourself and
No.
talk to the masses and?
No, if I hear myself talk on this, I won't listen to this
You won't
podcast,
listen to it,
because
okay.
if I hear my voice, I'm like, that doesn't
Well, then-
sound like me.
There'll only be 2 people that will watch it then.
Yeah.
we were supposed to have 3 with you, and now it's
We knew we would watch it, but we were hoping we'd get
I'll
a
send
third
it to
view.
my mom. My mom
Okay.
will watch it.
That's
For
good.
sure. I'll put it on for the cow. She'd like it. She likes my voice.
You have a pretty interesting career path.
Uh-huh. I do.
Where did you start? Where was your first, what would you consider your first, big girl job?
Oh, gosh. Well, I taught career and technical education. I taught a cosmetology segment and then career prep and readiness at Murray High for, 5 years. very early on in my career, loved it. In fact, I thought for sure I'd do something in education forever, but a friend of mine talked me into a tech startup. So I went there in sales because I thought it just sounded fun and interesting and exciting and uncapped potential, and I said, sign me up for that. And
What was that?
it was a company called XI3.
XI3.
Yeah,
They still around?
they're not still around.
Okay.
I went there and just started in sales and then ended up doing their channel sales development. I was the director over all of the channels, so all their resellers and bars and OEMs and distribution partners, and just kind of loved that.
Right, yeah.
But the travel was a lot, and I had a daughter in kindergarten, so I went with another friend. She introduced me to somebody who owned a staffing company, and he said, hey, this is great, you'd love this, and you get to be home every night. And I said, okay, let's do it. So I went there, and then I managed a branch for him for a while and built out a professional services division and started their headhunting and recruiting for basically direct hire professional services. And then
Was this like a one-off staffing, or was it like a franchise staffing? Or?
franchise.
Yeah.
So it's a franchise. We ended up building at the #1 perm placement in the country for all of the franchises a couple of years running, which was a big deal.
Wow, yeah.
So then him and I went and bought the franchise in Boise, Idaho, and did that. So I was the area VP here and running that in Boise with him.
What was that one called?
It was Asperion as well.
Oh,
Same franchise, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
And who, can I ask the name of your friend?
Ron Zarbach.
Ron Zarbach. Okay.
Yeah, so he's the owner
Yeah.
now.
That name is very familiar.
So I sold off my partnership to him in Boise, and he maintains Utah. I took the position at Young Living. At first I was like, no, and their former president convinced me when he introduced me to the CEO, Mary, and my former boss, Lee Bowen, and I just said this would be a fun company and a huge opportunity, 25-year-old company that needed kind of this excavation and overhaul of one of their
What year was that?
most fundamental departments. This was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Is it Spherion, is that how you say it?
Spherion.
Spherion, so it's Spherion to Young Living.
Yeah, Asperion to Young Living.
Okay, so let's back up here for a second. So you're helping running this company. You haven't done really anything in HR.
Well, staffing is
I mean, staffing
pretty
is,
heavy. It's more employment law compliance.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I was doing a lot of consulting on workforce planning and strategy for the governor's office with their executive director,
okay.
and consulting on gender dynamics with a company called League of Allies. So that was kind of my baby. We were doing, kind of coined the term gender synergy and helping educate on gender dynamics in the workplace. Still something I'm super passionate about. I think men and women are opposite sex for a reason. We are opposites, and so helping companies understand that it's not just about bringing women into the boardroom or the executive team, but it's also encompassing them and helping them, both sides, get to know each other and how to collaborate and work together. So those were in conjunction with Spherion. So with Spherion, there was other probably heavily HR related stuff that I was doing on the side, a couple side businesses. I think by the time I left Spherion, I was saying I would like to do just one thing, because it was a lot of different small things, and my energy was pulled in.
And was that with
a lot of ways.
with Governor Herbert's office, or that
Yeah.
administration? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with GoEd. And so they came to me partially with this strong emphasis on the gender dynamics and culture and inclusion. That's something I had been really passionate about and consulting on. And at first I thought there's no way. And again, it was convincing. It was a cool opportunity. So we kind of had carved out a 3 to 5 year plan on what needed to happen, and it was a lot. And it was a cool opportunity. I restructured the team, brought in some of the best talent. I swear they have one of the best teams in the world, honestly. Great team. And
Well, Young Living is, I mean, they've been noticed, they've been recognized, won awards for
we won
work that you've implemented, right?
Yeah, we won a lot of awards. We did a lot of cool things. We won, I think, a total of 5 Stevie Awards through the COVID relief efforts. And COVID, to be honest, COVID was kind of what broke me. I think if I'm fully transparent, I just realized that it started for us, when it hit kind of the Macau office, so we, our Macau and APAC offices, Hong Kong had just finished protests, and then I think they were in the office for a couple weeks before COVID hit. So it was like they were not able to come to work because they weren't safe because of protests, and then they weren't able to come to work because they weren't safe because of COVID. And we had people back in Singapore, and they flew in, and I said Singapore went to red alert on Friday, and they got home Saturday and wanted to go to the office Monday, and it was me saying, wait.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on and it hasn't hit us yet, but we've got to take this seriously. And then we're a global company, and so it became pretty serious pretty quick. And I had worked with my team to build a pandemic response plan, which at the time felt crazy. I mean, there were people who were like, "You're taking this too far. This is too much. You're out of your mind." And I'm like,
And this is before it kind of hit here, though?
This was back in February. So we finalized this by Valentine's Day. We had our pandemic response plan kind of finalized and done. And it was so crazy because it had, two, tiered leave programs where if, you're impacted by it, but you don't have it, you get, a week paid, and then 2 weeks paid if you're impacted and do have it. Like, we kind of tiered the leave, and based on if you could work from
furloughs
home.
came out and all this stuff, and the PP, all this stuff.
Yeah.
You guys had that ready.
We had this super awesome pandemic plan in
That's
place, and brilliant woman on my team, her and I spent a lot of time on it. She dove in with me, and we did the best we could, not knowing what was even coming, but basing it on what we were seeing, especially in China. And I remember we, kind of had started building out this work from home plan, and I talked to our SVP of Global Operations about the distribution center for contingency planning. We talked to the call center if we had to send everybody home what was needed, and we all just kind of started working in the background. And we gave the plan on Friday to our CFO and president at the time, and we sat down on Monday to kind of peel through it, and they're like, no, I just said, I think we need to do a mock send everybody home day, and they said, maybe are we being too proactive here? Are we being too reactive here? Like, should we wait? Should we let this pan out? We were just kind of deciding what to do. Anyways, by Thursday that week, everybody in the entire company was home. So
Really? Okay.
And we were ready, we were prepared, and our SVP of Global Ops at the time, I think he's since left, but Troy Moore, he killed it down at the distribution center. I have to say that keeping people safe and keeping people healthy was, there was a lot of sleepless nights and late phone calls, and this isn't just here. There's kind of 23 countries all over the world, and here we've hit here hard, but hadn't quite traveled to LATAM yet, and then our Latin American market hit it, and then watching what was going on in South Africa and making sure that just everybody was synced up. And we had to deploy, we launched a new employee intranet right in the middle of COVID. It was not supposed to be launched for like a couple more, 3-4 weeks at least out, and we just ramped it up, got it done sooner, and rebuilt the way we communicated with our staff. And it was such a fun adventure. But there was this point in time in the middle of it where I just said, I don't have capacity anymore. Like, I am at capacity. I have a daughter, I have this farm, I have friends, I have family. Some of my family I hadn't talked to in so long, which I am ashamed to admit, but it was true. And I had just gotten divorced, and I'm like, we did so well with COVID. This team is set up, ready to roll. I did a 6 months at Young Living. I did a presentation and said, here are my commitments to you. Here's what I see the roadmap needing to be, and how we can execute on all of the initiatives that you want, but still maintain some of this foundational stuff that's really important to a people department, a people team. It was HR. We completely rebranded it. Did a centralized model when it was really decentralized. We did a lot, and I just said everything I had said in that 6-month meeting, we've done. And yes, there's still always more work to be done, but I could leave today with it all on the field at the peak, knowing that I couldn't leave you in better hands, and really go focus on me and my passions and what makes me happy. Because as much as I loved Young Living, and what a cool company, my gosh, if you want to meet some of the most incredible people, walk in the doors of Young Living. Amazing people work there, amazing people. But I don't know that, climbing the ladder, what I want in my life today. And
Did that change? Did this change from, let's say, 2019 to 2020?
yeah,
Absolutely.
COVID 1,000% was
Just
what helped me kind of take that step back and say, what am I doing? Where am I going? Because you don't realize, it forced us to go and be in our homes. And then all of a sudden, I think I got used to being home every day with my daughter. And I think I realized how much more I needed that than maybe she does. It really was, I want to be here, and getting to go out in the middle of the day and spend some time with the animals, or take a quick half-hour break, and which I gotta admit, there was many times when it was like 7 a.m. till 7 or 9 p.m. in the very beginning of this, at least, and then calls off and on till midnight. And I think as women, we're different in that we only have so much capacity when it comes to hunting. Like, we're not designed as hunters, we're gatherers. So the corporate world is very much set up for a hunter mentality. The 8 to 5 schedule is really a male's circadian rhythm, not a female's. And so we kind of pretzel ourselves into this masculine world. And at some point our capacity is diminished, because we have to figure out a balance between how we can contribute as even the maternal, for those of us who have kids, and yet still be this hunter, and then still have enough capacity to take care of ourselves, because women have to fill their tanks in order to give, and we can't give what we don't have. And what I realized at one point is I didn't have anything left in most of my tanks. It's like you have this moment where you're like, I have to be patient right now, and you kind of stop and you're like, I can't even find patience within me. I can't find it. My tank's empty. And so there are women who do this far better than I think I did, but no question. But I just had this, it was kind of one of those midlife crisis moments where I just said, I have my dream home, and I'm divorced, and I'm running this ranch, and I've got this teenager, which is terrifying, and she's gonna be gone. She's gonna be 18 in 4 years, and who am I? What am I gonna do when she's gone? And so it was definitely more about me saying, if there's ever a point in my time to figure some very key things out, it's now. And I can never let myself ever get to the place where that balance becomes skewed, because there was very much an imbalance within me when it came to where I was. You can tell a lot about a person by where they spend their time, energy, and money. And my time and my energy was heavily focused on my career for so long. That's not the legacy I wanted to leave behind.
I've seen a lot of people that have made similar decisions as that. Just this has brought them to a tipping point of, they realized that whatever they were doing, whatever career, they couldn't do it any longer, and they didn't hate it, but it just makes them decide, like, I got to spend my time, my energy doing the things I love, or doing the things I know I need to be doing. But it's crazy how all this pandemic, the perspectives changed for so many people. And it's kind of interesting too, I think, how blessed, it's great that you were in a position that you could actually act on those feelings and thoughts. And because there's a lot of people that they know they don't want to be doing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And this is also put in perspective, but they can't change, they can't switch anything, and it's kind of sad. But no, a lot of people, I've heard the similar story, so I think that's amazing. I love that. Just kind of totally switch gears. Like, that's crazy.
Was it a extremely difficult decision to be like,
one of the hardest I've ever
made? A VP at a $2 billion company, and I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
Probably on a scale of 1 to 10, like, was it a 10?
50.
50, okay.
Yeah.
But you knew inside. Was it just you're scared to tell people, or actually verbalize the decision? Because you obviously have to internalize it first, decide in your head. But if you don't speak it and actually tell somebody, it's not going to happen. I mean, it's not real. But that's probably the hardest part, I would imagine.
Yeah. Especially for someone like me who I'm like, I'll just wrap my arms around everything and it's okay, we'll get through it. I grew up in survival mentality. I mean, that's funny because we all laugh about like the end of times or what if and how will we survive, and I'm like, I'm not afraid. I don't care, I'm pretty gritty, I'm not afraid. And I just have that mentality, so that when things get hard, I get harder and I dig in, and so I don't think this wasn't a conscious decision, it was definitely a heart and spirit decision, and I've been a life coach for 12 years, and I usually have 2 or 3 people I'm working with at any given time, and one of the things that I've always empowered people to do is to take a step back and ask themselves, what do we really need? You know, what do I really need? Because I can spend my life living in want and never be satisfied, or I can be fully aware of what it is I need and make a life around that. And so it was kind of me having to take some of my own coaching and saying, what do I really need?
Yeah.
And it was the hardest decision. But like I said, I think there's people who are wired differently and maybe better for this. But I always thought my career defined me. This was an identity crisis for me.
Yeah.
This was not just me leaving my job to go pet my cow, even though some days it may feel that way. And it seems that way to me even in moments, but this was an identity crisis because I realized, I think what it was is I realized that where I perceived my value and my contribution was through my work. That I had a very personal tie to over 3,000 employees that they were counting on me. And I just, that identity for me was, who am I outside of this? Who am I at the end of the day when I go home? Because to be honest, I had this like, you know, on the outside, this perfect marriage and this perfect, everything kind of looked perfect. And when my marriage got rocked, and by the way, he's an amazing man, we're really good friends, we live in the same small town, we see each other often, we share our dogs like half the time. So it's not like there's this animosity or this tumultuous divorce. It wasn't that way at all, actually. It was more peaceful than for me internally, that was more peaceful than deciding to leave the identity that I had known.
Yeah.
But when parts of your identity get rocked and you start peeling some of these layers back and you start looking into yourself, and I realized that I received so much of the validation and comfort I received from my job was hiding me from actually exploring parts of me that needed time and attention and energy and focus and love. Because when you can throw yourself into a massive project and get kudos at work and win awards, like, you know, you talk about these awards that we've won, and you can look back and say, you know, these COVID awards that we won, these Stevie awards, like, yeah, that's incredible, but there was a price tag on my end. I can't speak for anyone else on my team or the company, but I know for me, there was a price tag that came with that. And so I needed to go out one step beyond, you know, who is Aubrey Bates outside of a professional? And it's weird because even being single and people saying, what do you do? I'm like, nothing. And I have to bite my tongue because I want to justify it. I want to say, but I used to do
how long
something.
is this?
Yeah.
How long is this?
My sabbatical?
Well, I mean, you probably don't know. I'm just, but I mean, is it just kind of this, I don't know, it'll hit me and I just am gonna decide, like,
Well,
when I come back and start kicking ass again? Is it?
I don't know if I'll ever, it's a good question. I have been doing some consulting, so it's not like I'm completely off. You know, I may
Sure.
fall back off the wagon a time or two and do these little consulting projects for companies. So I have been doing some consulting. I've been doing one-on-one coaching. So I kind of now usually do a couple people. Now I've got a bigger client.
And the one-on-one coaching is this live coaching stuff, right?
Yeah. So I'm doing that right now, and there's a couple business ventures I'm working on, deciding where I want to put those and the time and the energy. There's a couple companies that have approached me that there's conversations happening, but again, there's this thing inside me that now has this clear vision of what it would have to look like, because I can't let it. It's just kind of, I'm an all or nothing person, and I have to learn to not be that person. I have to learn to be able to say, this is enough here, and then this is enough here. So
Yeah.
it could be, you know, at first I said, I'm not going to take anything until January. And then after week 2, I was like, oh man, January's
That's a
really
long
far.
time away.
This is really far. And so if the right thing comes along, there's definitely an opportunity
Yeah.
for me.
You look at it, take it serious.
Yeah, but it would have to be.
Have to
it'd
be the right
have to
fit.
Be the right fit. Yeah. Yeah.
Be able to be home, be with your daughter,
Yep.
be with maybe
Yep.
Winnie.
And Young Living, I will say, you know, it was never the company's expectation of me ever. It was my own expectations of myself, knowing what we were up against. And it was, COVID, I think, pretty much rocked every senior executive, leader, HR professional. Like, all of us have been rocked. I've been talking to friends and I'm like, man, this does feel like hell. In the middle of it, we had a group of us that would get on a call. There was about 17 of us from companies nationally, and we would get on this call, and it was like, people were tired. We'd turn on our Zoom cameras, and you could just see the exhaustion and like this just pain setting in. Now I feel like people are refreshed and things are kind of getting back to normal-ish.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I've totally just went down a different path. But when you're asking when I'm going to step back into the world, I don't think I'll step back into the world in the capacity that I was before until my daughter's at least graduated. And maybe not ever. You know, my dream is in 5 years I want to buy a ranch in Montana and do corporate retreats, and I just want to run a ranch, which
I'll come with you.
it just makes me
I wanna
happy.
be
Do
in
you own
Montana.
cowboy boots?
That's literally, all I want to do is,
Is
I
that,
want to end up
is
in
that a
my,
prerequisite? You have to have cowboy
It
boots
is,
to-
because I can't tell you how many people come to my house and like their white Air Jordans or like their whatever.
Yeah.
I have
And
cowboys,
then
I
I'm
have
like,
boots.
those are gonna get ruined.
I've been meaning to buy boots for like 3 years.
I have like work boots.
The problem with boots is
I have
it
boots.
takes years to break them in.
No, but not, well, yeah, if you don't prep them every day.
Well, that's the problem, is I'd have to wear them every day.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to be in Montana.
My boots, I literally go through a pair of boots, every 6 months I'll like burn through a pair of
What's
boots.
the best boot? Well, what's a good boot for a dude just that who's gonna wear them on the weekends?
Oh, okay. That's,
Is that tough?
Ariats are good. I like Double H, but that's like winter's coming and it of course steps on your foot.
You're
They
okay.
they're tougher.
Yeah.
I like the Double H boots a lot, but Ariats are really good. Yeah, and can we talk about how the fact that Wranglers are becoming popular again?
Are they?
Yes. It's,
No.
They're the thing and they're popular, which just pisses me off because I wear them because I need them to go over my boots.
Yeah.
They're the only jean that does the good job of
You've
going
been
over
wearing
your
them
boots.
forever because they're functional.
Yeah, they're functional and they're baggier so you can move around in them, but now they're popular so all these girls in LA are buying them to cut them off into shorts
Bullshit.
and I can't buy them. They're sold out. So please stop buying Wranglers if you don't need them. You can buy like the skinny jeans.
If you don't have a ranch, don't freaking buy
Yeah,
Wranglers.
just don't buy the boot
People
cut
will
ones.
listen.
If you don't have a Winnie, you can't.
Yeah, don't buy the boot cut Wranglers. You're stealing them from me.
Okay, where in Montana? This is important. Do you have a city or an area in mind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was thinking outside of Whitefish, like Whitefish Kalispell area. But Paradise Valley is also so incredible that I'm like, okay, if I can afford Paradise Valley, I'd be all about it. But then
Yes.
I was just in Wyoming a couple weekends ago in Alpine.
Yeah.
And is it Star Valley? Star Valley? Yeah, the Star Valley area.
Yeah.
I would totally do Wyoming. And the thing I like about Wyoming is it's still kind of wild, wild west. Montana is becoming more and more like California.
Yeah.
And so I almost think in 5 years it could be Montana. It could
Just
be
stay away
Wyoming.
from the Missoula area.
We don't
All the
like
liberals there.
Yeah, lots of liberals.
I mean, I don't know if you're liberal. I was just saying,
I live
very,
right
very
outside of
liberal.
Park City, so I'm used to.
Yeah. Oh, Montana.
Here's the thing that's so cool about Colville. Although I hope nobody else buys a house there ever because of.
Let's just say Colville sucks, so no one ever goes there,
Colville
right?
sucks so bad.
Yeah.
However, I'm like 12 minutes from Whole Foods Park City.
Yeah, you're
It's
close,
amazing.
but you're away.
It's amazing. They're building a 500 home community right behind me with a golf course in Colville.
What?
Mhm.
Oh.
I know. I'm hoping in 5 years they'll be gone and then they.
Is the course already there?
No,
No,
so
this
they're
is
just
like-
doing like the infrastructure.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like a Red Ledges type deal.
Yes.
Right above Echo.
Yeah.
As much as I feel bad for you for that coming in,
I don't like
I
it.
am excited about an additional
Another golf course.
golf course.
See,
We
I
love
love
golf. I love
See, I
golf.
love golf, so I'm like, why would I need a golf course in my
Oh my
backyard?
gosh.
I golfed in the governor's tournament like 4 years ago and almost hit the governor with a ball. I mean,
Good
it
for
landed
you.
within like a foot of the governor, and I just
That would have
decided
been
at
an
that
amazing
point.
story.
Even his security came out, and you think that everybody like it was an accident. Everybody he kind of like comes up and looks, and everybody steps away from me. It's almost like a movie. And I would be like,
Is that her?
Like Dumb and
It
Dumber,
was
you know?
her.
Gary, it was the lady.
it was her. And then I was so nervous when we got to the putt. So when you get to the governor's hole, you putt. And his photog takes a picture of you putting. But I was so nervous after I just almost hit the governor with the ball. And I'm a terrible golfer. I shouldn't have been there in the first place. But I putt and like the ball goes up and it hits her camera. And Gary looked at me and was like, you should not quit your day job.
You're not invited next year.
You will not be invited.
What is maybe 2 or 3 of the biggest problems that you see in the HR world right now?
I think the world of work is changing and humanity is changing, and this sounds super philosophical, but to me it's true. And I think that the biggest thing we face is how do we create a workspace that works for everyone? That's number one. Again, moms need a different work culture than dads, or women do than men. I think I actually have a joke but I mean it, like women should get a day off every month for their period. They just should, because it sucks.
There's a company doing that.
It should be done everywhere.
I saw that the other day.
It
That's
should
awesome,
be
dude.
like,
I love that.
That's your day. And men are like, well, some men might not agree with it, and frankly, I don't give a shit because they don't
Screw
have a
them.
period, so they don't know.
Yeah.
Until you experience it, you don't get to judge. But get it off. Like, our hormones do way different things than you guys do, and to expect us to come to work bleeding and participate at 100%, you're crazy. So I think that should be the thing. But anyways, finding a world of work that adapts to, and it's not just men and women. It's there's this this expectation that somebody will come to work at 65 and be able to participate the same as somebody who's at 22. I have a good friend who's an executive in a company, and he's 65, and he's like, I'm slowing down and I can't keep up, but he's brilliant. He is so brilliant. And it's like this idea that he has to be there 12 hours a day to make a difference. Yeah, right, that guy could work 4 hours a day and still run circles around people who have far more energy and enthusiasm because they're just fresh and new in their career. So the world of work is changing. We need to change our work schedules, our work paradigm, our work dynamic. I don't know if you've heard of Grow, but it's results only work environment. They're a consulting firm, super cool ladies, and I think that's where we're going. Like, what are the results you're here to produce? That's it. That's what you count on for. When you do it, how you do it, I don't really care.
Yeah, as long as it gets done.
As long as it gets done. I think the next is, I think we're so afraid of making mistakes as companies that we stay neutral on things that we shouldn't.
Just status quo.
Yeah, I think we need a couple, even if it's things I disagree with, I think we need
How do
companies who
you
are.
get away with that though?
I don't know. I don't have an answer, but I do think that somebody does and they should solve it.
It almost seems like the personalities or the personality of the face or the founders or the CEOs determine how they can get away with that.
Like Elon Musk can say anything.
He can say anything he wants
Elon
because
Musk.
it doesn't. He could, and it could be completely controversial.
Yeah.
But if he truly doesn't give a shit, then it sometimes it just rolls off of company. It really does kind of roll off and roll down the line when they are so confident they believe in that what they say is right.
Yeah.
But I was just curious. It just kind of seems like I love that, but you have to, how do you pull it off? Like, how does somebody that doesn't have that personality?
I think you pulse your people. Like, I'm more about, if you're a company, you have an obligation to your employees first and then your customer. Employees come first. In fact, I believe companies that should be taxed astronomically if their executives make a higher amount than a certain percentage of their lowest paid employee. I think employers have a due diligence and an obligation to their employees. And part of that is, if we're gonna take a stand and we're not gonna be afraid to make mistakes in the spirit of doing what's best for our people, it's not about necessarily what's best for all the people, it's our people. And what pulse our employees, what do they want, what do they need, what are they not getting from us to feel safe and secure and satisfied in coming to work, and then that's what we take a stand for as a company. Because we get on these cultural and political waves, which is okay. I do believe companies should use their platform for a voice of good or reason, but outside of those waves, what do your people need? And how do you take a stand for your own internal people? And I think the Black Lives Matter movement helped a lot of us see that there's people within our workplaces that do feel disadvantaged at times, but maybe in Utah, maybe it's not just the African American community, but we have a high population of the Hispanic community, and how are we supporting them? And how,
Mhm.
you know, I've been in a lot of companies that say, you know, English only. Well, why? Why? This is your workforce. They're here to serve you. Is it so hard to serve them by incorporating Spanish-speaking materials or offering English classes? Or, you know, just, so for me, it's take a stand for your people. Listen, pulse, know what they need, and then take the actions every day to
Yeah.
support the people. Because people are powering our business, and yet half the time we don't even know what they want or need. We're flying so high up top that we're looking at whatever the cultural norms are and the new keywords, and then we're like marketing the shit out of how we can support that. Meanwhile, we have somebody in our lowest rungs of our organization who are suffering from something we haven't even considered or thought of.
Yeah, no one's even asked that.
No one's asking them.
Yeah.
And I think lastly, it's just, I think burnout. And maybe this is just sensitive to me, but from what I've experienced from so many people I know, I think people are burning out. We gotta develop some sort of,
Yeah, do you have any thoughts or ideas on that, on how you prevent that?
yeah. I
Well,
think-
what
I mean,
about,
coming from a position where you felt like you kind of were,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
you
mine was
stepped away.
self-induced. Mine was 100% self-induced.
Like, could have anything changed, could have anything been better for you to avoid that, as you look back?
I don't think Young Living could have done anything differently.
Do you
I
feel like you
don't
could have?
know if I could have, just based on the dynamic of what had happened. Now, if we weren't looking at 2020, that's a completely different story. So 2020 is almost like,
yes, yeah, it's this,
it's irrelevant because all of us
Yeah,
felt
we're
that,
going
but
2018, 2019, 2021 in the yearbooks.
Yeah,
We're
I
looking at
th-
2020.
I think that if companies were to invest more in,
well,
I think
maybe
it's
like
just
mandatory, like,
yeah, PTO, like requiring and allowing, and PTO means, I've always thought, wouldn't it be so cool if PTO meant your email actually shut down? Like if you as a company shut down somebody's email for the day, PTO means unplugged, disconnected, time away, or, you know, emails turn off at a certain time at night so you're not able to get online and work at all hours of the night. Because as a leader, if you're sending emails at 3 o'clock in the morning and somebody answers them at 5, I mean, we're just almost programmed to be like, wow, that person's on it. When in reality, no.
That's tough.
It's probably not the
yeah,
case.
a required PTO, like a required week,
Mhm.
every so often, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you have no choice. You're gonna get paid,
Mhm.
you cannot come in, you can't answer emails, and you have a system set up where it funnels everything to the team, picks up the slack, because everybody knows they're gonna get their little week or whatever, and then also we're making them use their PTO. A lot of people just save it up, and then, you know, maybe come, like, we even have a program where we pay it out at a certain point, but we also don't pay, you know, if they accumulate too much, we have a way to make them use it.
What if it was, like, what if we did this like mandatory PTO, but because I can hear the argument, I always hear, like somebody's like, I don't want to take PTO because I don't have anything to do. So what if it's like as an onboarding, you're like,
Hey,
list all of the things that you enjoy, and somebody can say, I like ceramics, and it's like, hey, we as a company are giving you your required PTO day, and by the way, we signed up for you to go to the ceramics
Yes.
course here, or, you know, helping them incorporate some of their lifestyle stuff into work, and so it's not just a day off where they're sitting home, Netflix and chill, which maybe that's somebody's thing and
Yeah.
cool, but, you know, companies, it's meant this idea of like, yes, take your PTO, but also let us help you invest in stuff that's kind of this more creative, more, you know, helping people get in and find their flow. If it's art, if it's horseback riding, if it's something, I don't know. I've always dreamed of a company, I think I just heard Nike's doing this too, that says, we're gonna buy into like an Airbnb model where we have houses in the coolest places all over the world. Like every national park, we have a house right outside of it. And then the employees can choose to go stay there and they can kind of rotate and have it as part of their culture. I think this is the future of work. Incentives and perks, those are gonna be what drive employees to come
yeah,
somewhere.
smaller corporate office,
Mhm.
thousands of homes.
It's like,
They
well,
travel, they work, travel, like, yeah,
Mhm.
that's actually pretty cool.
who's the company that bought Team, that, they're big real estate? WeWork, yes, it's
Yeah.
like WeWork but housing, like you could take your wife and kids and
Yes.
go spend a week in Zion on the company. Or like you could even do this nomad thing where you just have people who can live in one of the 2,800 properties you have around the world. I don't know. I think I think that's what companies have to do. It's this whole lifestyle overhaul. We've all talked about work-life balance for so long now. It's okay, that's done. That's a dead idea. What's this work-life integration? How can there be a seamless transition from work into life without it feeling like it's polar opposites pulling at the same? It's like a tug of war all the time.
Yeah.
Let's fix that.
Yeah, that'd be
Cool
interesting to
ideas.
see how that would play out.
I mean,
Work.
think about how much less money you would work for if your employer was investing in your hobbies, and if your employer was allowing you to have travel and experience. I mean, you'd take less money. I mean, we've all learned at some point in our life, we figure out this light bulb goes off where we're like, whether I'm making X amount of dollars or X amount of dollars, my lifestyle really hasn't changed a whole lot. And because it's like, who's that rapper, more money, more problems? It's true. I mean, every time my friend goes and buys a boat, I'm like, well, that's good. And then 2 years later, like, that was the worst purchase, it cost me a fortune.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you didn't need the boat. I mean, if one person loves their boat, I would be surprised. Most people are just the dumbest thing I've
When
ever
we
heard.
start on boats, let's talk about boats.
Boat people, boats.
Boat people.
I'm an anti-boat.
I mean, people think that same thing about me and my animals. We're like, yeah, but you buy animals, which is also
It seems like you're just kind of like self-maintaining.
yeah. For the most part, until somebody gets.
You don't have to milk the cows every week.
No, you gotta feed them. You gotta water them. You gotta. Winter.
But what
gets
else
to
would
be
you do?
the
I mean,
question.
sit and watch TV?
Yeah, no, I'm not a TV person. In fact, pop culturally, I am so far out of the loop. If you quote a movie quote right now, I won't get it.
Ooh, well, you're gonna get.
This is
we're
where
setting
people
you up.
learn how
What about
awkward I am.
music?
About
Listen to
music? Yes.
I'm so bad. I listen to I love, you guys, my music is just different.
Well, don't tell me it's like instrumental bongos and
No,
drums.
no, I mean, I
Okay.
would probably listen to that. But I like country, I love country, but not country
That
pop,
makes sense.
princess country. I like the Steel Drivers and some bluegrass kind of music. And
Yeah, bluegrass.
I
Okay.
like everything, and the whole way down I listen to Michael Bolton, like nonstop. I love Michael Bolton. I love.
Is he
80s
still alive?
music. He is still alive. He
Is
cut
he?
off all of his hair. He's still.
And he did cut his hair.
He did cut his hair. He's still very handsome.
Dude, I was
I
gonna go.
always lump him and the saxophone player together for some reason.
Isn't
Who's that guy?
I don't know.
Kenny
Kenny G.
Kenny G?
Kenny G and Michael Bolton, for some reason, seem like they're buddies.
Isn't, have you ever seen
Probably are.
Office Space?
Yeah.
Isn't that guy's name Michael Bolton, and they always ask him if he's related?
Yes, yeah, Michael Bolton. Dude, he had some
I
pipes.
was gonna do so we do some lyric stuff on here. I was gonna do all 80s music today, and I didn't.
So I was supposed to guess what song it is.
Yeah.
What do you got though?
What do you got? Let's see.
Some other
Try.
stuff. I just,
Let's go.
Try.
Dude,
Let's
I think we'll surprise. I think we'll get some.
I could probably do 80s better than I could do today. My daughter just had her birthday party at my house, and I was like, "Here's the rule: no Cardi B." So no Cardi
I don't have it at all. That's awful.
B.
That is an awful.
She's not allowed.
We won't read those lyrics.
No.
Yeah, I got a funny story with
You
Danny.
get
I
kicked off of LinkedIn.
I actually read those lyrics as I was pretending to be like a poetic reader.
Of her
It
most
didn't work.
recent song, if you know which one we're referring to.
I had to block that on my Spotify. It kept popping up.
Man.
Kids these days.
Yeah, I'm going to hell. I mean, it's like reading that, trying to make it sound poetic.
It just doesn't work.
No.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All of your stuff has been awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like we just scratched the surface here.
Yeah. I'm glad that we'll be able to do a part 2 at your place.
Yeah.
I know how to cook pizza.
Well, done.
Done.
Done. We'll do pizza. We'll put you guys on one of the horses.
Can we do a podcast while we're on the horse?
Yeah.
Just going
Yeah.
around and talking?
Bouncing.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Goat yoga. You can actually.
Goat yoga.
I think it's important that you try goat yoga and say, this is why goat yoga is not.
This is why it doesn't work.
Mhm.
I just got shit on it.
I just got shit on all, and then it's like in your mat.
Why was eating my shirt.
And that's the other thing, they eat.
He was so hungry, he's eating my shirt.
Backstreet Boys are in sync.
Both. How do
Okay.
you choose?
Some people are die hard one way or the other.
Well, Nick Lachey was really cute.
Okay, how many Backstreet Boys can you name?
That's probably why it tells you why it's both, because I don't care. Okay, he just said Nick Lachey. I wouldn't have, oh wait, is he a
That's
non?
in sync.
Oh.
No.
No,
Nick Lachey was not a Backstreet Boy.
I think he was.
There's
No.
a Nick. I don't know if it was
Nick.
Lachey,
Nick
but
is
there's
the
a
Backstreet
Nick.
Boy.
There is a Nick that was
There's a
Backstreet
Nick.
Boy, but not Nick Lachey married.
He was 98 Degrees.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
Oh, my
98
gosh.
degrees.
Okay, so we have Joey's in sync. Okay, hold on.
No.
Backstreet Boys is
Okay.
Joey?
No.
No,
Backstreet Boys. Oh, what?
Okay.
Which
Nick.
one was Justin Timberlake in?
he's in
That's
sync.
NSYNC.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so basically, I don't know any of the Backstreet Boys names except
Okay.
for Nick.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even think I can see him in my head.
What about NSYNC? How many can you name there?
Justin Timberlake,
Okay.
Joey,
Yep.
I don't know his last name. Lance.
Yep. Two more.
Alright,
There's 5 of them?
There's 5.
that's a lot.
Man, that's 60, that's good.
Chris
Okay, Chris.
and JC.
Oh, JC. I can't believe I forgot that one.
Backstreet Boy, we got Nick, Howie, AJ, Brian, and Kevin.
I've never even heard those.
Like they have an AJ,
Kevin.
Backstreet Boys, and they have a JC and NSYNC.
Yeah,
Kevin, dude.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Change your name if you're gonna be in a boy band. First name's Kevin.
Okay, are you ready for some lyrics?
I'm ready for the lyrics.
Okay. It's difficult because I'm not giving you the tune, right? This is
Yeah.
just like, yeah, okay. You don't have to say what you did. I already know. I found out from him. Now there's just no chance with you and me. There'll never be. Don't it make it sad? Don't it make you sad about it? You told me you love me. Why did you leave me all alone? Now you tell me you need me when you call me on the phone. Girl, I refuse. You must have me confused with some other guy. The bridges were burned. Now it's your turn to cry.
What year, what
Is
decade?
that Justin Timberlake? Did I get it? I thought you said it was 80s.
Cry Me a
No, I said I
River?
was gonna do all
Oh.
80s, but I didn't, which I wish
That
that
would
I
have,
would
I
have.
would have nailed it on the 80s. That's why I was like, let's do this. But
Yeah,
that was Justin
that was good.
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake, Cry Me a River.
Cry Me a River.
Yes.
Dude, I love that song.
Nailed
Okay.
it.
I love JT.
Who doesn't?
Oh, dude, great.
Okay. Next one. I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say.
Taylor Swift.
Mhm.
Huge
Oh,
Taylor
dude.
Swift fan.
That's
I
what
thought you
people
weren't like a
say.
little country princess country.
But Taylor Swift is like.
But she's the real
she's
deal. Like,
like
you
an
like.
incredible musician.
What song?
Yeah.
That's what. Shake It Off. No.
Yep.
Is it Shake It Off?
Yep, shake it off. Shake it off.
She's like the one thing that I tell my daughter.
She just-
Do you like her?
She just played in the Country Music Awards on TV.
I didn't watch it.
It was good. She had a new little single thing. I thought it was an amazing
Her
song.
new CD's intense. It's pretty kind of it's intense.
Is it?
She's got some feelings going on. Good for her.
This is, this one is, I think you'll get this one. It's country-esque.
Okay.
This is actually like my favorite song right now. Okay.
Right now, this is your favorite song?
Yeah. I
Okay.
love this song. Used to spend my nights out in a bar room. Liquor was the only love I've known.
Oh, Chris Stapleton.
Gosh, it's too easy. You were so worried about it,
I'm
and you
like
just nailed all
that
three.
Chris Stapleton is I mean, before he was Chris Stapleton, and
Right.
he was just the Steel Drivers. I'm like, how is this guy not more famous?
Good. He's so good.
Do you listen to the Steel
Tennessee
Drivers?
whiskey.
No.
That's my all-timer.
So that's before he went solo.
Yeah, so he's been writing #1 country songs forever. I think he actually holds the title of like written the most #1 country
Really?
songs. He's written for the best of the best, George Strait. And I'm the biggest George Strait
You ever
fan.
seen Pure Country?
Yes. I am the
I
biggest
love
George
that show.
Strait fan, you guys. I literally still to this day, I'm like, he's gonna marry me at some point in this life, right? We're gonna be married. Like, I just need a George Strait lookalike to come along. Yeah, you gotta listen to the Steel Drivers.
Still Drivers, I just wrote it down.
Still Drivers. You know what reinvented, well, not reinvented, but reinvigorated my Chris Stapleton, like love, was watching Yellowstone, the series on TV.
So good.
So good, because he had just these gems of songs. I'm like, oh yes. Then I started listening to a bunch of his stuff again.
But wait, I just don't understand why they killed off the cutest brother in the second episode.
You thought he was the cutest?
Hands down.
What about Casey?
No, everybody says that.
He's cute.
Everybody's like, what about Casey? I mean,
Yes, true. You only saw him for like one episode.
2.
Yeah, I was like
And he
two.
was so awesome, and he seemed like the most level-headed one. I'm
You gotta
pretty
get
sure
on the ball,
he's
but you better
still
watch
alive.
this.
I know.
You haven't watched
Dude.
Yellowstone?
Don't yell, don't shame me.
I just almost bought a shirt that said, "What would Rip do?"
Don't do it. Whatever Rip would do, don't do it.
No,
People are gonna think Rip Hamilton.
he's gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, he's a redhead in real life.
Oh, yes, dude. He is actually.
He's a redhead.
Dude,
in
Kevin
real life.
Rip?
Yeah.
No, not Kevin.
What's his name? No, it's
What's his-
I don't know who plays Rip.
It's Cole something, isn't it?
He's kind of a weird, obscure actor. Been on a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
This was his perfect role.
His breakout. It really was. And how about that brother they killed? It was his perfect role too.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Bring him back.
My wife watches it with me, and you just love and hate. Like there's a sister there too. You love and hate her, Beth.
Oh.
Dude, Beth.
I didn't like her until this most recent
Yeah.
season. Now
Anyway,
she's-
I digress. I'm so sorry. But Chris Stapleton, tons of songs on Yellowstone. Yellowstone's great.
We should just have a podcast that does nothing but talk about Yellowstone.
Oh,
I could
dude,
do
I think that would actually work.
I could do
Probably
that.
would.
I could do that.
If you had to, right, this is life and death situation. If you had to get a forehead tattoo, what would it say? If you could pick one
If you
forehead.
don't tattoo your forehead, you die.
You're dead. You're done.
But you got to put something on
You
it.
gotta put something on there.
And it's got to be with, it's a certain size. It can't be like a tiny thing. It's got to be
No, it's gonna be like,
across your forehead.
yeah, like
I'd probably get like a cool like
pygmy goat.
symbol of some sort. Like, you know those tattoos that people get in Bali that are like symbolic and
Like the
have,
henna
sacred
type.
geometry in them? I would do something like that.
Okay. Like a,
I mean, this last week I was convinced I was gonna get my entire forearm tattooed, and that's when I thought maybe I do need to go back to work.
maybe it's time.
Just because
Maybe it's
I
time.
spent like a half hour on Google going, this is kind of
This
cool.
is. Did you ever watch The Last Kingdom? Another show? Well, it's just Vikings.
Mhm.
Dude, they just like they have crazy. There's a guy Ragnar. I can't remember Ragnar something. Dude, crazy cool tattoo, like a little triangle thing around his forehead. He pulls it off, but he's got long hair and braids, and he'd probably kick your ass too.
Sounds like a
It's a thing, tattoos, like face tattoos are becoming more and more of a thing.
Thanks to the old Utah guy,
Posty?
Post Malone.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So the rest of these questions are all would you rather questions.
Oh, boy, okay, I'm ready.
The only rule is you have to answer. You have to pick one.
Okay,
And we always ask one. It's the same.
Oh yes, I always get to ask one.
you're not gonna ask who I'm voting for, are you?
No,
Okay.
Yes.
No.
Would you rather vote for? No.
because in all reality, we probably don't care. We don't care.
Nobody cares.
Would you rather Tiger Woods takes his driver a full swing right to your shin, okay, or Barry Bonds played Major League Baseball, home run swing to the back,
Shin.
Wood
Tiger
bat.
Woods and shit.
Wood bat.
wooden bat, just home run swing right to the middle of your back, or you're gonna look at Tiger Woods, he's gonna grab his driver and do a little waggle, and he's gonna swing as hard as he can right to your shin.
This is so morbid, by the way, but I think the shin.
You go shin.
Your shin. Because if you've ever had back problems, that's a serious,
Yeah, I have.
that's serious. Shin you can do without, back, it's kind of important.
Yeah, you can do that with your leg.
Yep.
Don't want to be paralyzed. That's really the end. That's always a good argument.
Yeah. Would you rather have extremely bad breath or terrible body odor? Can't fix it. It's one or the other.
Are they the same? I would say bad breath or masks. So right now it's very convenient to have bad breath.
But in
'cause
2021, when masks.
we might be in masks like forever.
In 2022.
No way, don't say that.
Yeah, don't say
I'm gonna say bad breath just because I would just stop talking. Tell everybody I don't talk.
that.
Start. I would learn sign language.
Say sign language. Sign
Yeah.
language. Okay. Would you rather have 3 arms or 1 arm?
Where's the other arm
Three.
coming out of? That's the question.
Is it,
Back?
is it a functioning arm?
Like 2 on one side?
I could say 2 on one side.
So you have 2 on one side, 1 on
2
the
on one
other.
side, you know, just here.
Or just
Oh.
one.
It's functioning.
Do you know how many times in my life I'm like,
3.
if I just had one more arm?
Just 1 more. So you want 3.
3.
Oh, dude, you
What if
could-
it was like in your back?
Can I? No.
Yeah, then you could be, well, but you couldn't see what you were grabbing behind. Like you couldn't, yeah, I don't know, that'd be weird. If it was coming out of like your armpit, for sure 3 arms.
2 on one side, I'd take 3 arms.
Okay. Would you rather be incredibly overweight or incredibly hairy?
Would like your face is hairy, kind of like like you would
Maybe not the
imagine-
female, but we'll say, I mean, like arms, leg, everything. It's just like, it's like Wolfman, Wolfwoman.
I'd
You just-
rather be.
You got hairy chest and
I'm just thinking of being on an airplane, and I would say I'd rather be Harry, because it'd be super uncomfortable to not fit in it, you know?
You just buy 2 seats.
I don't have a job.
Yeah, well, when you
Just kidding.
all the times I'm flying. No, yeah. 2 seats. Hold on, how heavy? I mean, we're talking like the guys on the shows heavy?
Incredibly.
Yeah,
old.
okay. 800
maybe
pounds?
like 600.
You're not flying anyway. 600 pounds.
Yeah. And
But
then
you can't. If
like,
you
get up
shave,
and
if you
walk
shave, it just
around.
grows back like a X-Men thing or something.
Sure, yeah. You're just hairy, man. There's no getting rid of it. Like shaving, laser hair removal, it's not working. You are hairy.
Yeah. Gotta take the hair out.
Hair. I'm taking the hair.
Hair, okay. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or in a coma for a decade?
Jail for 5 years.
Jail for 5.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, imagine all the stories I could come tell you
Yeah,
guys.
dude.
part 3.
Shawshank Redemption.
Part
That's all.
3 with
Aubrey's trip in jail.
5 years
Yeah,
later.
part-
That's
Podcast
actually
in
like
prison.
one of my biggest fears in life is going to jail for something I didn't do, or like ending up in prison. But if I went to jail for 5 years, I could like read so many books and get super swole and work out.
And you could do like cool programs in prison. Maybe you'd be like what's the guy that bought all of on Shawshank? He's the guy that could get things.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but
They put me in charge of the kitchen. I learned how to cook.
Andy Dufresne and his
you get
best friend.
cigarettes for everybody.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
a cigarette smuggler and I'd make friends so
Yeah,
fast.
Easily.
Prison, jail, sign me up for that.
Would you rather have to eat a dead rat or live spiders?
No,
How many spiders?
Say a handful. Just
I
a-
like his qualifying questions. Ooh, no.
Because spiders, if it was just 2, a dead
I-
rat, and you can't cook it, is it like raw? It's just dead on
It's
the.
a dead rat, yeah. You're not cooking it.
This is. I would say spiders because I would just put them in something and eat them really fast. But either way, I'm puking. Like either way, it's
It's
not
coming up.
staying down.
I
Yeah.
think I'd do
Dude, they're
spiders.
crawling in your mouth and you're trying to like move with your
No,
tongue.
Yeah.
if you've ever like
Get 'em
even if
down?
you just kind of like barely.
Like,
They
chills, dude, like-
Oh
stop
my gosh.
moving. Like you step on a spider, and even if it's not all the way dead, they kind of just stop moving.
Yes.
So
How is your throat getting? How's it gonna go down your throat?
you just take water and you put them in your mouth and you just swallow them.
What if the rule was you couldn't drink for 2 minutes after you swallowed it?
Like, am I getting paid for any of this stuff?
No,
Or is
you're not
it
getting
just-
paid.
No, this is
Just
just.
somebody's gonna kill me if I
Yeah,
don't do these.
you have to do
things?
one or the other. Or you're dead.
Not necessarily dead.
When
It's
do I
just-
get to pick
Those are
one?
just the rules of.
I would
the
pick
game.
dead.
Just dead.
Dead.
Would you rather eat a dead rat or live spiders or be dead?
Dead.
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 Would
There'd be
you
a lot of
rather-
dead answers that are, I'm gonna just kill you now.
Would you rather have to buy all used underwear or all used toothbrushes?
Oh my gosh. I mean, if you buy used underwear, you can just wash them and bleach them and like clean them. A toothbrush is really hard to get clean.
You should
But,
bleach that
but
too.
you know they've been used. It's just, it doesn't change the fact that you know. You
I
have
would
no
just-
idea
I would just not
who
wear them.
wore these panties.
I would just
or-
not wear them. I mean, that sounds so
Yeah.
gross. I know.
Unfortunately,
You
you
have
have
to
to
wear
pick
them.
one.
Okay, so I would do the underwear and then I would wash them because a toothbrush, I just don't think you can wash.
Okay.
Yeah, soak it in bleach.
And
You
it would
still
melt.
might.
It would melt the toothbrush.
That's right.
Would you rather have to talk like Yoda for the rest of your life or breathe like Darth Vader?
Breathe like Darth Vader. Breathe like Darth Vader.
Okay.
It would make this podcast people.
It would, but if you spoke like Yoda, then it doesn't matter what you say, but people think you're
I'm
smart.
gonna be honest, I've never seen Star Wars, so I don't know what Yoda sounds like.
I'm not even gonna pretend to.
No, it's, yeah.
I just feel like Darth Vader is the one I knew, so I went with that one.
That's good. Yeah.
Would you rather have a mullet or a perm for the rest of your life?
Perm.
Like a tight curl. Tight curl perm. You're
Perm.
not changing it. Perm.
Perm.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
I mean, I'm
What would
already
you
out.
do? What would you do? There's only one answer.
Oh, mullet.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is I already go out and like mow my lawn and I have like a 0-turn lawnmower, so it's not like even a cute thing. And then I'm in my boots and my baggy, usually my overalls or something. So I already am
Doesn't
so
a mullet
far
seem like-
into a certain world that like if I had a mullet, it would destroy any of my chances of ever coming back from that. I would forever be branded as.
And you love 80s music, maybe the perm's the way to do it.
I do, I mean, I could rock a perm, I could do it.
I could see it, okay.
Mustache and a mullet, dude, that's just.
Would you rather always have an annoying song stuck in your head or always have an itch that you can't reach?
Annoying song stuck in my head.
Annoying song. Would you rather eat powdered sugar that has been laced with dandruff?
Ugh. This
Or a glazed donut and the glaze has been laced with sweat? You're not gonna taste it, but you just know.
Probably the donut, because at least it's a donut versus powdered sugar. I mean, a donut.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of donuts.
Okay.
You've been to the Dough Show, downtown Salt Lake? Huge donut show with all the donut people around with booths, and they just give away free donuts.
I have not.
A taste test, the donuts.
Text you when that comes back.
Will,
There's
it
one in-
got canceled because of COVID, but it does it every year.
There's one in Heber, and I think it's like Judy's or something. Oh no, it's over in Midway. So.
What's it called?
I think it's a Judy's.
Judy's.
I could be making that up. It's just a little white building with a black awning.
I love donuts.
So good. I'll find out what it's called. It's the best. They have a raspberry fritter, which fritters are amazing, but why they put apples in them, I don't know. Apples aren't supposed to be warm. Carrots, apples, they're not supposed to be warm. I don't know.
It's
who
like
thought
carrot
that.
cake, you're like,
Yeah. No, gross. But raspberries, you can do anything with a raspberry. You can put dandruff on a raspberry. It's so acceptable.
But Dad, yeah, she'll eat the donut.
I'll eat the donut with that.
Okay, I'm gonna change this one around then. I've done this one before, I added it a little bit different, but I'm gonna change it. Okay. So would you rather eat 1 pound of poop that tastes like raspberries, or 2 pounds of raspberries that taste like poop?
The 1 pound of raspberries that taste like, or of poop that tastes like, I mean, if it tastes like raspberries, what do I care?
But it's poop though, so it's like
It's
the
somebody's poop.
bacteria.
I'll close my eyes.
But hey, it doesn't taste like it.
Whose poop?
Uh,
Like human poop or animal poop?
TBD.
I mean, that changes everything, because animal
It's
poop
true.
like is,
Pretty clean.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going human then.
Human feces. Let's just think of the grossest neighbor you have on one of your streets.
I don't have hardly any neighbors.
What is the
Yeah.
grossest guy in Colville?
Okay.
I mean, whoever that. His.
Okay, so I'm not eating
Actually,
poop. I'm
But
not eating.
people don't know, but people see you eating it and they're like, oh hell, Aubrey's eating shit.
So you
But
want
then
me?
you're like, no, it's fine. It tastes like syrup.
raspberry. You're
Okay.
like, okay, yeah, it tastes like raspberries. False.
But I
you're the only one that knows that.
So people are watching me.
Yes.
I feel like this gets more and more complex.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
we gotta
gonna
make
eat
it
the
more complex.
raspberries. I can't eat raspberries that taste like poop. I can't. I
No.
won't be able to eat 2 pounds. That is a lot.
All right, so a pound of poop that tastes like raspberries.
Yep,
Okay.
just get her done.
All right. Would you rather fall to your death or be buried alive? I feel like when you get back in when you are back and you have to hire people, your interview, you should ask them would you rather questions.
I think I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I would say fall to my death,
Fall to your death. Oh man, both of them would just be so shitty.
but just to be dead on
Could
impact.
it be- Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Dead on
Like, how
impact.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like, let's say like you're at the top of.
Maybe being
building,
buried
you're just
alive, you
falling
just
for
pass
a while,
out.
you just know
kind of
what's
pass
coming
out,
out.
you know.
Yeah, but I'm so claustrophobic. I just, and then I think there's this point when you're falling where you're like, okay. Like
You
imagine
just-
there's like this moment of peace. I imagine
It
there's this
could be.
moment of,
Like you immediately get scared, like,
yeah.
oh, I'm done. And then as you're falling, you're like, yeah, I'm done. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
But you're trying to kick yourself out of you're buried alive. You still got hope a little bit. Maybe it's a shallow grave.
Yeah. Worms and spiders start coming after you.
You could just eat the spiders.
Yeah. You would stay alive by eating spiders.
Yep. Would you rather hear the voices of dead people or just see their ghosts?
Oh, I'd rather hear them.
Just have conversations.
Can we like talk? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Come on, that'd be amazing.
That would be fun.
Both of those sound amazing.
What was my last one? My last one. God, we got through this fast.
Did I pass?
Would you rather live in a real world Harry Potter or the Avengers where you are one of the Avengers?
I haven't even seen Harry Potter or the Avengers. I know,
Okay.
this was a thing. for
Magic
people.
versus superhero.
Oh, I get to be a superhero or I
Yeah.
get to be a wizard? Do
Yeah.
I get to be a wizard?
Yeah. Yeah, you get your wand and you get to do some magic.
Yeah.
Am I a good wizard or like?
Yeah, you're a good wizard.
mediocre?
That's
Yeah,
up to
you're
you.
a
That's
Hogwarts.
hey,
Oh wait, but then there's other people who are wizards.
That's
When if
for
you're a
you to decide.
superhero, you're like the only one of a few superheroes.
But there are a lot of normal humans that aren't wizards.
Unless you're watching The Boys, and there's lots of.
I want to be a superhero.
Have you seen The Boys?
What
No,
would your superpower be?
all of them.
Just take them all. So you're the most
All.
powerful
You
superhero.
are.
Yeah.
There's no need for any other superheroes because
No,
you are
it's me.
the one.
100% me. I do it all.
Okay.
All of
Yeah.
it.
It's good.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And you're
Go big or go
invincible.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Kill everybody, can be killed. That's basically my power.
Yes.
I can kill anybody I want, can
I can do it all
Yes. And I'm like an animal whisperer. I can talk to animals.
Dead people,
Dead people.
Dead people.
Yeah.
eat spiders,
I
it
can
doesn't
eat,
matter.
Eating
I can
spiders
make
and
shit that
poop.
tastes like raspberries.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can make shit taste like raspberries.
You could.
I am magic.
I can do anything I
Whatever.
want.
Putting on my used underwear.
Yeah, of course. Well, and if you're a superhero, it's likely that you were given your gifts by somebody else, and so you
It's a
have
good
to
thing you
wear
didn't
them
start
out.
with the superhero question because then all these answers would have been super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
because I'm a
irrelevant.
superhero. Yep.
So,
Awesome.
That's actually a good point. Justifies all my other answers.
All right. Aubrey Bates.
Wow.
Thank you.
Bates.
Thanks, guys.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And cut.
Cut.
Cut. Should have a cut thing.